Hey, welcome to Playing for Keeps, the show where we take a deep dive into dating, love, relationships, sex, and attachment theory. Your host, DJ, will be hosting Dating Chronicles, where she has guests come on the show and give a funny, crazy, or romantic dating story. Tune in if you need a laugh, hear something romantic, or maybe hear someone else's experience to help you grow in your relationship journey.
Hey everybody, it's your girl DJ with Playing for Keeps podcast, and today I have a special guest with us for Dating Chronicles. What's going on, Devine Destiny?
What's up? Thank you for inviting me and having me on your show.
Oh, thank you, girl, for coming on. How's your week been going? It's Friday.
Yes, it's Friday. I'm living in Maryland, and it was supposed to snow today, but God has been good.
Oh, amen.
And we got some hot, warm weather. I was like, wait a minute, what you mean snow? It was like 80% chance snow. I was like, oh no, I'm tired of snow.
I bet.
It's been snowing like a lot this year, so I'm over it.
I bet. I'm in Georgia. It has not snowed at all.
It's been raining there because my best friend lives in Atlanta down there, and it's been raining like crazy.
That's a fact. So we had storm warnings and stuff yesterday, but anything over snow. We had like a little bit of snow, I think, like a few years ago, and I was like, hell no. I wanted to move to New York and experience the New York life, but after that experience a few years ago, I was like, oh, fuck no.
But see, the only difference is, like, up north, they are prepared for it. Because y'all didn't even have no real snow for real, and it was
that's
like
a fact. Yo, when that shit
when I saw how much snow that it was, I was like,
it wasn't even a lot. But
Snowmageddon.
I was over it, bro. Like, I can't do it. So I commend y'all and everybody who stay up north. I don't think I will ever experience that New York life I always wanted as a kid, because snow and me.
Especially Christmas time. For us, Christmas don't feel like Christmas unless it's snowing.
Really?
Because I've lived in places, because I actually lived in Mississippi when I was younger.
Okay.
And I was like, it's hot outside on Christmas Day.
That shit is beautiful.
Like on Christmas Day. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's beautiful, bro.
You gotta wait till January to ride your bike. It'll be so much snow.
For real? I can't do it. So tell us what projects you got going on. What do you have going on before we dive into a funny or crazy dating story?
Okay, so I also have a podcast called Chronicles of Devine Destiny. I have that going on. I'm in the process of writing a play also, because I do playwrights.
Awesome.
I have that going on. And what else? I'm an entrepreneur too. I have my own cleaning / catering business, which is a halt right now because the catering portion, because of the pandemic. So I lost like a lot of business because of it. But, I'm maintaining. But right now I am just focusing on my podcast, which is my unpaid part-time job, and finish writing a few plays that I have under my belt.
That's awesome. I love working with other creatives. Tell us a litlittle bit about your podcast. What is that about?
My podcast is about a 40-year-old woman who is journaling. I'm a 40-year-old woman who is a Christian, a woman of the way, or I would say, because saying a Christian these days is, it's a lot that come with being a Christian. But I'm sharing my testimony. Okay. And I had a 40th birthday party before I started my podcast, and everybody that stood up to say something said that I had a story to tell and that my life could help people. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to share it. I'm not really big on like standing in front of people talking. I'm like, what can I do to actually share my story? And I was like, I could start a podcast, because I used to be a part of a podcast with my brother. So I'm like, okay, those were ways that we was able to share stories about how we grew up. So I can actually share my shenanigans, my life, my foolishness with people, and hopefully they can learn from my mistakes.
That is dope, to be of service to other people in that way. So that is awesome.
Thank you.
That's what's up. You. Okay. So you are here for Dating Chronicles, where you give a funny, crazy, or romantic dating story. What do you have for us today, Miss Devine Destiny?
I have the trash for you. For you today. This trash situation that I was in, I would call it I can't even say triangle, the love square.
Oh my God. Girl, spill it.
It wasn't the triangle. All right. So to start up to this situation,
okay.
I got married. I married a Jamaican that was fresh off the boat. I really thought this man, I ain't gonna say I really thought this man loved me. I was hoping that he really loved me. Okay. But we both had just got out of really toxic relationships. We were trying to fill a void. He wanted a green card. So I guess it worked out in his favor. It just became crazy. I realized that he didn't really love me, that he just wanted to be here and just start a life. So we were going through the process of divorce. So at this time, I'm on MySpace. It was popular at this time. I rekindled with one of my high school cut buddies, because we really never was in a relationship. We just used to have sex in high school.
Got you.
So we're adults now. So I'm like, okay. We start talking, vibing. I'm like, all right, it's cool. We finding things out about each other. I'm realizing, like, you really an all right man. Like, you grew up to be all right. He's like, oh, okay, you grew up to be all right. So we decided that we're going to try to work on something because, you know, we like each other. We had great sex. We had good, conversation. It just worked.
Got you.
So I'm picking him up from work every night. I'm like available. We going out to eat. I let him drive my car from time to time so he can run errands.
Yeah, that's a full-blown relationship. Okay.
Yes. Like, we're working on something here. Like, he's whining and dining me. Now, mind you, he's whining and dining me. We living in Washington, D.C. at the time. So he's taking me to places that are nice, but they're like really far out from where we live. But I'm not catching on to what's actually like what's going on. All I'm thinking is like, oh, I'm getting wine and dine. This is better than what my marriage was. And, I'm getting the full package right here. And this is somebody that I know. And like, we already clicking. We're vibing. It's good. So I don't think nothing of it. But he always would complain about his son's mother to me. And I didn't really get it because I'm like, you're not with her. Like, why is she still like a big issue? I'm like, me and you trying to work on something. But I guess he wanted to vent. So he complained about like how crazy they were. And a week before that, he told me that he loved me, professors loved to me. They had got arrested for a domestic dispute. He said he didn't hit her, but I wasn't there, so I can't say what really happened. And by me being in domestic violence relationships, I'm always on the woman's side automatically. Yeah. So it's like, I'm already on her side. So I kind of just like, okay, whatever. They both end up getting locked up. So he planned this whole evening. He could really sing. So he parked the car. We in the car. He played a song for me.
I want to interject real quick before you go in there. So when he say both of them got arrested, was his story always he had his own crib, or what? How did he explain?
Yeah, so his story was he had his own crib and that he had his son full time.
Okay.
So he never said that where she lived there. I never asked. He just told me that he had his own place.
Okay,
but we're gonna get to how I found out that he didn't too.
Okay, so that's what I'm like, did he say that she popped up at the crib before it during his domestic? Okay.
She popped up at the crib and they got into an argument and she hit him. So he called the police so they could lock her up for hitting him, but they ended up locking both of them up.
Got you. Okay.
Because I was trying to contact him and I couldn't get in contact, which was odd because we talk every day, all day. So he was like, well, I was locked up, and he told me why he got locked up or whatever. I kind of like lost my train. Okay, so he professes his love to me.
Okay.
And he tells me, like I said, he tells me that the girl is crazy. So he's like, I love you. Like, I'm just so happy to be with you. I want us to live together, move together, eventually get married. And, I just love you. He was like, if I got to get a restraining order on my ex, so me and you can be together happily, he said, I would do that just so me and you can be together. So I thought about it, but I didn't say yes right away. Because like at the time, I'm still going through a divorce. I wasn't with my ex-husband. We wasn't together. We had been separated. So I wanted to make sure everything was final before I make another big move like that. Right. So it's just so happened that night my cousin was like, she need to talk to me. Because she knew I had went out with him, and she came back and she was like, look, you need to stop being available for Crip. And I was like, well, why? She was like, because he living a double life. Not only is he living a double life, he's living a triple life because you're now in the mix. And I was like, what you mean? She was like, because he's with his son's mother and he's still married to his high school sweetheart. So I'm looking at her like, excuse me?
What?
And I said, he's still married. She was like, yeah. And he's taking care of 2 households. She's like, that's why he works 2 full-time jobs. That's why he was available all the time. So he was like working maintenance for a hotel. So he would work full-time. Me and him worked together too, because he got me a job at the hotel where he worked at. Gotcha. So me and him worked together at the hotel. And then at night, he worked at another hotel full-time. So he was working like 16-hour days. So when I'm talking to him, I would pick him up from work too and take him home. This man had me dropping him off in front of his house. But this is where I was being foolish because I never went in there until later.
Gotcha. Okay. Oof. Okay.
So now it's getting close to me getting a divorce, an actual divorce. We're still hanging, everything's still the same. He's still complaining about his child's mother or whatever. He don't say anything about his wife. So he complains, he's not happy. So I get the divorce. I show him my divorce papers. I'm like, show me your divorce papers. So now I know you ain't divorced, but I just want to see because you keep telling me you are. So he's like, oh, I'm going to show them to you. So he would never show me the papers. So one day his car broke down. He was like, I need you to come to the house and pick me up. And I was like, all right. So I pull up and I come to the house and I'm waiting in the car because, like I said, I never go in there. So he was like, oh, you could come in. So I was like, oh, I said, okay, he's for real, I can come in the house, but not thinking. So I go in there and I see like his sunroom, how he got it up nice. I'm sitting down in the living room and I see some pictures on the TV stand, like club pictures.
Okay.
And it's the baby mother and a group of girls and them at the club. So I'm just looking, I'm sitting on the living room couch and I'm looking, I'm like, okay. He was like, oh, I want to show you my bedroom. So I'm coming back to the bedroom and I just so happen to look on the wall. I see a CNA certification with her name on it. What? I see all this stuff that shows that a woman is here.
That's just so dumb.
Okay. I go into the room and on a dresser, I see women products. I see an area with women's shoes, his shoes. And I'm like, I said, that's a crib. I was like, what is it women's stuff in here? He was like, oh, I told you, she moved out. She just haven't got everything yet. I said, she been moved out. So when she plan on like getting herself, I'm like, I've been here like a year or two and she still ain't got herself. He was like, I don't be trying to press her out because she crazy. And so I'm just thinking that she crazy. I'm not thinking, it's like my gut is telling me that he's lying, but I don't want to believe it because I want what was sold to me.
Right.
So then I'm sitting on his bed and I'm watching Martin. And I so happen to look at where the TV is on his dresser. And I remember him showing me a video of somebody twerking in front of a TV that was on a dresser. And I'm sitting here like, this nigga showed me a video of his baby mother twerking for him in front of the dresser. What? I'm like, so I'm like, this dresser look real familiar. I'm like, this dude he was like, so now he touching me, he's trying to have sex with me, and I feel awkward as I don't know what in there. Because he trying to have sex with me. And I was like, I just feel like, I said, you sure that Chrissy don't live here? He was like, she don't live here. Why you tripping? So I just let him go down to me because I won't try to get no full-fledged, sex. I'm like, is this crazy chick gonna come up in here? or whatever. So I leave and I tell my cousin, I was like, yo, I went to Crib House, man. I was like, I seen some women stuff. She was like, you don't have to believe. She said, I'm telling you, that girl lives there. I was like, but he told me that she don't. And the reason why he have her pictures up because it's for his son. And I'm being dumb now. At this time, I'm like 23, so I don't, so I don't really care.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm just like, I care, but I ain't tripping. Like, if I like now, I wouldn't even fall for that
right.
stuff. But, So then one day, he was like, oh, I need you to ride with me. He was like, but don't say nothing while my son in the car. You're just my coworker from work. And I was like, why am I just your coworker from work? He was like, because if I say that you my woman, he gonna tell his mother and then it's gonna be an issue. And I was like, all right. But he was like, son, this is Destiny and we work together. And this is her car. He was like, that's all it is she's my coworker and she's giving us a ride. He was like, oh, okay, Dad. So I'm picking him up. I dropped him off at his wife's house. So, so the wife comes to the car with the daughter, and she was like, hey, and kissed him on the cheek. So my insides are like bubbling, like
right.
I'm like, I don't want to react because I'm like, I said I want to react, but I don't. But it's like kids. And I was like, I'm ready to drive. It's like so much stuff going through my mind. So he gets out the car. He was like, I'll be right back. He gets out the car, take the kids in there. He's in there for a hot minute. But I'm like, I should leave his ass.
Yes.
I said, but I want him to get in this car so I can let him have it. So I waited like 45 minutes. He was in there. I ain't no telling what they was in there doing, but I ain't care because I was going to get him. So he gets back to the car. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yo.
He was like, what you mean? I said, are you married or are you not? Because I've asked you, I said, I showed you my divorce papers. Are you married or are you not? I said, because I think that you still married to her. I ain't married to her. I take care. I said, why are you still taking care of her? I'm like, I don't understand. He was like, because that's my daughter, mother. I'm going to take care of her. You acting stupid right now. You acting like, Cindy. I said, I'm not acting like nothing. I'm acting like somebody you've been lying to. So are you married or are you not? I'm not married. So he just kept sticking to he not married. I said, well, wow. By the end of this week, I didn't see a divorce paper. I said, or else I'm gone. He was like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Never showed me the divorce paper. So I was like, okay. So I'm just sitting there and I'm contemplating. And I'm like, his best friend tell me himself, he was like, look, I know, like, y'all feel each other, y'all got your thing going on. He was like, the man love you, but he's not stopping. He said Cindy lives with him, and he said he still sleeps with his wife and take care of her, and he's still sleeping with his girlfriend. And he was like, he taking care of both of them. And that's why he works like he worked. Because he taking care of them, and he's like, and now he trying to take care of you. So now he starts selling weed so he can make sure he can take care of you.
Wow.
I was like, so I'm sitting there like pissed. So I took it upon myself, and I said, now Destiny, what do you want to do? Do you want to deal with somebody that has a crazy baby mother who's going to be an issue? If y'all get a house together, it's going to be an issue because she's going to come there. She's going to show up. It's going to be a problem. You don't know if he's divorced. He has yet to show you divorce papers. I was like, what you going to do? So I decided I didn't tell him nothing. I didn't say, after that day, I didn't say nothing. He was calling me. He was blowing my phone up. And I told you me and him used to work together. So he would come to the front desk of the hotel and be in my face. When I said I was a mute, I was a complete mute. So every day he was like, I'm sorry. I love you. I want to be with you. I'm sorry. I told you I'll get the restraining order. I told you. So I just looked at him and I said one day, I said, are you married? I told you I'm not married. I said, show me your divorce papers, then I'll talk to you. He ain't showing the divorce papers, so I ain't talked to him for like 2 months at work. Literally, I would have somebody else call. If we needed his assistance for our maintenance, I would have somebody else call. So
wow.
then it was some gold at the end of the rainbow.
Okay.
So he worked with like I said, we worked together. So he always tell his business to the guy named Dave or whatever. So Dave knew about me and he knew about Christy. He was like, Destiny, I got something to tell you. I was like, what? He was like, your boy got caught up. Ooh. I was like, how he get caught up? He was like, hold on. So some customers had came up. We checked them in, whatever. Then I was like, what happened? He was like, so after you broke it off with him, he met with another girl that he was dealing with in high school, and they started being together. Okay. I was like, dang, that was quick. He was like, yeah, he was moving, like spending the night. So what happened, his girl went in his phone and found information. She found your text messages, but she didn't reach out to you because you pretty much were telling him you were done. So she reached out to the other girl, and the other girl was like, oh yeah, he spends the night. He gives me money. He just bought me a new truck, like all this stuff. So his girlfriend Cindy was like, okay. So her and the girl was talking and set him up. So the girl had him spend the night, and he was like, yeah, I put it down, whatever. So I was asleep, and I woke up in the morning, and Cindy and his new girlfriend was standing over top of him in the bed while he was in the bed.
That's
sleep.
Some creepy ass shit.
He woke up and just looked and said, man, and put the covers over his head, and they was like cussing him out. And when I say I was smiling from ear to ear, I was like, that's what he did.
Right. Oh my God. But Cindy did all of that. I mean, is she still dealing with? She still decided to deal with him after that? Like,
it's 2021 and they're still together.
Wow. I guess some women can't. Like, he seemed like he's a provider though, but sometimes that's just not worth it. Like,
she's been with him ever since we were like teenagers.
Oh wow.
And I recently, because even now he still tries to talk to me. I don't say nothing, so he would never get. I'm telling you, I'm a complete mute. And to this day, and they're not even married, and she wants to be married so bad. And the reason why I know this stuff, because one of my cousins date her brother. And she just tells me everything. She's like, girl, she is so stupid. He still be cheating. He still be doing stuff. She wants to get married, but he refused to divorce his daughter's mother. So he got two people that just refuse to leave him alone. And he still tries to talk to me. And I won't say nothing. I done blocked him so many times on Facebook, and he still send me, like, he'll find a way to send me a message. And we went to one of my good homegirls and was like, tell Destiny, I'm sorry. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. You know what you did. I said, what?
Right.
I said, whatever he did. You are married. I don't want nobody's husband. I want my own man. You married and you got a girlfriend for over 20-some years. That's not going nowhere. She was not going to let me have you. She was going to ring the alarm on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time for that. No.
Well, I commend you for standing your ground, because some people be like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? He trying to provide for me. He take me out. He do this and the third. So for you to have enough self-worth within yourself to know that's not what you wanted for yourself, because I don't knock people who are into that. But
because there's some people that, trust me, it crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? I could just milk, because I could have. Yeah. He was taking care of, like, whatever I wanted, I got. Any hairstyle I wanted, you know what I'm saying, clothes, whatever I wanted to eat, do, he did it with no problem. And I could have milked it, but I was like, is that something that I want? That's not, I just didn't want that chaos. So if she that crazy, you know what I'm saying, and y'all going to jail and all this stuff, and, you know, all the stuff you went through with her, ain't no telling what she would have did with me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just luckily, she was ready to call me up. And you done had me in your house and had, you know what I'm saying?
And ate the whole twat in the house. Right.
In y'all bed. Like, that's so trifling. So, and then I was thinking, like, if he did that to her, what he gonna do to me when he with me?
Right.
I don't care how much you say you love me. You love them too. You still love your wife. You still with her to this day. You don't have no divorce. So
I just wonder what's going on. Like the wife, like, you barely said anything about the wife. I guess she don't care. I guess she's like, as long as he taking care of me.
And that's all because that's all, like, that's all I could think of. But then it's like, she's not, or I didn't say she's not toxic, but she didn't ever give him nothing to complain about. He just never, he always spoke very highly of his wife, but the girlfriend was crazy. But I would be crazy too if I'm dealing with all, like, you still married. You know, you probably still sleeping with your wife.
Right.
I'm sitting here, we living together, we doing this and that, like, we building, and you doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's bad business. Especially when you want to build with somebody and really be with somebody, and you're not just after them because they want to just financially take care of you. So now I get it. So let me ask you this. What lesson did you learn from that? Like, how did you grow from that? Because, when we go through stuff, we grow from it.
Yeah. So pay attention to your gut. Because as I think about it, even when I talk about the situation even more, because I've shared it recently on my podcast, like, listen to your gut, because you'll be knowing. Women intuition, you be knowing. Like, I knew when I saw that stuff in the house that woman stayed there. But I just was like, nah, he loved me. I'm trying to put all this other stuff in my mind and, follow red flags. And if you do, best friend telling on him, even Beyonce said it, me, myself, and I, even your best friend telling me you ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, because he don't have to tell you. He wasn't telling me to be with me because he got kids with my cousin. So he's trying to look out for me because he see I'm a good person. Right. And you playing me. So it's like I learned from that. And people, and if they say they divorced, get that divorce paper. I still got mine. I've been divorced a long time, but I still got it just in case somebody will ask me. Make sure you get that divorce paper, all that.
Right.
But lesson learned, and I would never say, I would never. And like, after that was the last relationship that I was in. I've been single ever since then. I have not dealt with nobody since then.
So how long ago was that? Because you said that was like what, about 15? Yeah, was it that long ago?
No,
MySpace, like.
Well, that's when we started back talking.
Okay.
But as I started getting through the divorce, it was later on. So it was probably like 2010.
Wow, so you've been single for 10, 11 years.
Yes.
Power to you. So, okay, now I got to ask you this. So what type of work have you because you've been single for all this time, so I'm sure you've been working on yourself. Like, how do you move different? Like, even when you think like, maybe I want to try a relationship, or what have you done like for yourself within the last 10 to 11 years to get to just where you are now, as far as how you view relationships?
I refuse to settle. Like, I'm big on not settling. I have talked to people, but they always end up, I don't know why I attract certain people, because I feel like how I am now, I don't see how I attract certain users, basically. So, so it's like, I just refuse to settle, and I know what I want. And not all people with potential are worth you taking a chance on. So that kind of guides me too. Because some people will deal with somebody with potential. That's good sometimes, but I need somebody a little more well-rounded and know what they want, especially at this point in my life, because I'm 41. So it's like, I don't have time to be playing. Gotcha. So you either going to come correct or not. But I did realize that as I'm in the healing stage, because I'm still healing, I've made a lot of poor decisions as far as men. So I'm learning to forgive, because that's something that I just could not do. Like, I couldn't talk about situations without getting extremely like pissed and upset and mad. Like, I'm getting to a point like, you know what, this happened. I forgive this person. Let me move on from that. Because if I want to be with somebody else, I can't bring that baggage from years and years of, because I've never, I'm doing a lot of talking, but anyway,
no, you're good.
I've never had a good relationship. Never in my life. Never. I don't even know what it's like to have a good man. I don't even know what it's like.
I can relate to you. And, I had to think about how I feel about myself subconsciously. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, in a way, for me, is that why I attracted users in the past? Because I'm somebody too that as far as like career and stuff like that, I would do well. And I wonder sometimes, did I carry this energy? Like, because I know for me, like in the past, if I didn't feel needed, then the relationship just wasn't worth anything. So that's something I'm fixing for myself. And I wonder subconsciously if I seek out these people, like when I'm ready to kind of deal with somebody, and subconsciously I kind of seek them out. And then I'll see, okay, I'm running into the same pattern. So then I stop. But then I observe myself, and I notice, like, when somebody halfway decent does reach out, they bore the hell out of me. So that's something I'm working on and fixing. So, I definitely can relate to you there. And I know I'm also on a healing journey myself, where I want to deal with somebody because I don't want to be by myself. But at the same breath, token, it's like, I can't be bothered because I know I'm not where I fully need to be. So I feel you there 100 times.
Yeah, I'm definitely, and just my personal relationship with God, like that really helps me. Just the standard that He set for me and just what He feel like I should have. Yeah. I'm like, why am I not deserving of something good? Why do I need to settle for this when I'm deserving? Like, I'm a good enough person to get this good thing. And I even though I've never experienced it, I still want to, and I'm not going to settle for 5% when I can get 10. And I also had to learn that being married and being in a relationship or having children don't complete me as a whole. But that's for me. Like for me, those voids that I wanted to be filled, I feel that God can only fill those voids. And until I allow Him to feel that, I won't look to try to get that from other people. I will be satisfied within myself.
Amen.
So that's my journey, and I'm getting there. But trust, I'm about to be 42, Lord willing. So I'm in a state like I kind of want to open up to dating. So I've been asked about getting online, which has been crazy. Even though I put up there, like, I'm a Christian, like I'm celibate, I'm practicing abstinence, like, you come correct on that. I still get penis pics in it, and like
I bet you a challenge. They want to try you.
Yes.
So yes, they're gonna try you, honey. I promise you. They go, she a Christian? Oh, I got that.
Right.
Let me try that. You a challenge.
Oh, one guy actually sent me we were talking. And I was like, okay, this is doing good. He was like, oh, but you're like turning me on. And I'm barely saying anything. And I'm like, okay. Now this is through like instant messages or the direct messages or whatever. Mm-hmm. Not like we're actually talking. And he's like, oh, just what you're saying is like turning me on. He's like, do you mind if I want to send you my erect penis? What? And I was like, I said, nah. I was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, I've seen a lot in my lifetime. I'm good. He was like, oh, you can pray. I'm gonna send it, you just pray about it. So I was like, nah, I'm good. But some should have told me to block him. So I get a notification that he messaged me, and it don't say photo or nothing. So I open it up, and it's the penis.
If y'all could see my face right now, like, just pray about it. So I'm just gonna be the devil.
I don't want it. You will send it anyway.
I'm just gonna be the devil that they biblically talk about, and you just pray, honey, because I'm gonna show you any goddamn way. Wow. Okay. Hey, so
it's been adventurous to say the least.
I bet. Hey, so tell the audience where they can find you.
All right, so I'm on just about every streaming platform, but I get majority of my listens on Spotify, Apple, and Google Play. But I'm also on iHeartRadio, some other stuff. For some reason, people are streaming me through other streaming services that I'm not really familiar with, but those are the ones I'm mostly familiar with.
Okay.
But if you could just Google Chronicles of Devine Destiny, you will definitely see all the different places where you can find my podcast.
Okay, so I'm going to have the podcast link in the show notes. I want to thank you, Devine Destiny, for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, definitely. And until next time, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. If you liked this podcast, please download and subscribe. If there's anything you would like to talk about in regards to relationships, or would like to be a guest on the show to speak on relationships or get advice, you can always connect via social media at Playing for Keeps or email DJ at info@p4kdating.com. Thank you for tuning in, and bye for now. Stay tuned. The dating app Playing for Keeps will be launching this June.